versus Izako Boars. We're here on train to kick off map number 1, and we're going to be getting into things now that our knife round has concluded. The question is, will Izako Boars be able to put up a fight here? It is, on paper, one of their stronger maps, second strongest, in fact, at a 63% win rate over 19 maps in the past 8 months. By far their most played map of their pool, and likewise for AGF, a very similar situation. The only map beating it out for them is Inferno, which they played Inferno 26 times compared to the 17 times that they battled out on train. So suffice to say, all those numbers pretty much translate to these guys play a ton of train.
And I mean, we're just waiting for them to get started at this point. If you want to keep something in mind, both these teams have only won 2 of their last 5 games. Whoever wins this will be pulling ahead in stats. So there's also some boasting rights that go into this as well. Both teams, they want to have a positive-looking history, at least for the most recent history. And they're all getting warmed up. You saw Abyss there pushing straight into spawn on a warm-up round and just practicing those flicks, getting that aim as sharp as possible, because you don't want to be missing, not against a team like AGF. And not too sure exactly what they're waiting for here. There's not really much more else to say. So for now, I'm going to cast the warm-up. No, I'm just joking. I'm not going to do that. There we go. Finally, okay. Took them a while, but the pistol round will be underway. And as stated, AGF starting on that CT side, Izako Boars on the T side. And
yeah, this is kind of what we anticipated after seeing the knife round, of course. So now looking to see really what AGF can do now they're starting on the CT side. Definitely the preference of the two. It would be ideal for them to kick things off with a nice little pistol round victory just to start to build up the rounds with the right foot forward. Of course, no nothing major really different here on the CT side's approach to the round. We are going to see a bit of a fight from TMB though as he pushes down through Ivy. Takes the perfect one-step angle with the USP, but unfortunately for him, he seems to be like finding a needle in the haystack right now. Can't quite land the headshot.
So much information for
Lucky
Luki.
on the flip side, he's going to peek out into 3 players, aware that this B play is coming his way thick and fast.
Trying to catch them on the way down, but these kills are starting to come in from the side of Izako Boars. Huey with the double kill on the entry in towards this B site. Christo is here on the flank and no one's looking in his direction, but just as he turns around, Huey's on fire. A triple kill in the round. And now it's a 2 versus 4 on the retake. HP's low for the remaining members of Izako Boars though. And so this is doable, but it's not going to be easy, especially if they're not hitting their shots, which we haven't seen this team doing so far. There's a head spot, missed the first shot. Abbas is there for a refrag, but getting peeked by so many players. Shuey a 4K in the pistol round, and they've just secured themselves the pistol, which is very important on that T side. And well played there from Shuey.
Yeah, it's what you like to see, an explosive T-start round, getting that pistol locked in for Izako Boars and gives them now the money in play as well to try and make sure they can hold the second round together. Of course, AGF, no question, it will be the full force coming in through from them. So the Deagle, Kevlar's, a double scout play, which is almost iconic now on train in the second rounds. Their goal, of course, here is going to be all about connecting the shots with those scouts, finding that chip damage that those Deagles can cash in on at a later date.
Keep in mind, Shuey's an 18-year-old boy. He's very young and still very new to this team and still doing so much work. And Shenyi finding Frostlev very early on, as some damage actually being exchanged here. I mean, these scouts are providing a lot of damage, and these Deagles are here to be able to clean up. As Christo, he may find the timing here yet again. Hopefully it will be the case. As Shen will be finding Lucky. And Christo, he never gets his lurks down. Every single time he's gone for that lurk, he's always been caught from behind. TMB, last man standing on 9 HP with the scout. Can't get anything done. Not a single kill that goes his way there. There's only Netric managed to find the one. Izako Boars a good second round. That does force AGF to save a little bit more here. And that should lead into Izako Boars' third round.
Exactly. Should be pretty smooth at this point. They've got exactly what they needed to do done. Pistol run in the bag, second round follow-up, now following through as well. This is just Izako Boars starting off with an absolute bang here. The perfect 3-0. Nothing AGF can do about it now. They just have to accept it. It's a full eco, boys. Hold W, they try and do some damage, but for the most part, we've made the mistakes here, and now it's going to be 3-0, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. What makes these worse? Well, these Mac 10s that people get the kills right now, that's money to be made for this T side. If 2 kills do come back through to this TT, so Cristal getting 2 for his troubles, but ultimately money still made for Izako Boars. They're going to build up a decent amount in the bank. Toyo has over $7,000. Izako Boars do get that pristine 3rd round.
That double up setup can be so deadly here on Train, and Izako Boars now have a whole new wall to try and climb here. As X's, he's still on that Galil, but they've got plenty of money in that bank going as well, so not to worry. Shui on that AWP, he's had a stellar start, and let's see if he finds anything else going into this round as Nade dunks on him. Shui in a bit of a bad situation now as he's lit down to 39 HP, and he's going to get wall banged by TMB. Shui going down very early in this round. And Toa, he's going to want to try to push back here as that flash comes out. The repeat comes in, but Netric is not going to be winning that fight. It will be Toa. As you see this defense on the A side, they're all rotating around, looking around for these pushes that may come in, as we've seen Izako Board do time and time again already so early on into this game. It's just going to be Cristal by himself in brown holes. That AWP can shred, though, if he can isolate those fights, obviously. And seeing as we see one player makes way over towards brown holes, there is a chance there for the at least the single kill, whittle down the numbers of the Izako Boars.
As we said though, this is a solid start for the T side so far. Great nade as well, going to do even more damage as to try and bait the drop down. And they'll get the information that someone is there holding tight in towards Pop Dog, and that'll only affirm now that the B side is looking tasty. Fortunately, the AWP upper does cause a bit of a ruckus, catching Otoyo as he makes the peak. Molotov soon to follow as well. It's going to slow them down. 25 seconds left. They can't afford to sit and wait. That frag grenade going to be beefy as well as they walk into the crosshair. Cristal, 1, 2, 3. Left, right, good night. Cristal on a right here towards the B site as he holds it down single-handedly. All that remains is Avis. One man for Izako Boars. 5 seconds remaining. It's not going to happen, but he can at least carry an AK through. There is that, some light at the end of the tunnel.
And that was so well played by Cristal as well. You can see he gets that first kill. The molly goes down on towards ramp, and he knows they're not going to peek him from heaven because he's going to call for that rotator ready to happen. So they'll be holding that from connected position. So they were forced to go down that ramp after the molly dissipates. And, well, they, for some reason, did peek one by one into the AWP, but it's hard to peek that without lining up. It's either it was a collateral there or at least the one kill. And I guess they did do the right choice given the opportunities they had, but Cristal finds both kills, and oh, you see that there's slight movement from Cristal inside of connector, and that just saved him a chunk of HP. Oh, did he not? Okay, I think he did spot it. There's the molly to cover him off as well, because that's hard to catch. Without X-ray, you don't even know what's going on there. These AWP shots are dangerously close. But for now, it will be a slow round. Yet again, Izako Boars like to take their time on this T side. Nice and slowly. It's a marathon, not a race. So now they have freedom over towards tunnels. That flash comes out, but basically they can make their way over towards CT. There is another smoke that goes down. That's actually a neat little smoke, but even neater is the flick from TMB, and this hold coming in from Lucky as well. The molly has done a good amount of damage onto Sien. As Exis finds one, Lucky's there to find another, and Exis, he's found a double, so it really is now time to defend as Toa finds TMB. It's a 2 versus 2, and it's a retake, and there's an AWP inside of this site to defend. So it's not an easy task. That smoke's going to give some space towards Izako. And Netric going to get caught by Exis. A great round coming in from Exis in that B site. And Izako Boars, they'll be up. Oh. Has there been a pause called?
Yeah, it looks like a quick reset going to come through, but as you were saying, Izako was definitely going to be up now, of course, 4-1, I believe, the scoreline now off the back of that round, and a lot of that comes from actually their smart play towards B there, having the Orpa look towards the tunnels area from that lower tunnels push coming in from B halls. Likewise, also having that rifle taking the fight back trains. Just bodes so well. I mean, look at the start here. Exus, again, another aggressive peak. So slick as he takes down Netric early on. Absolute disaster. A second now in the bag as well. Let's feed the machine. Keep throwing kills at him. See how many we can get, because I'm telling you, Exus is going to be there to pick you off every day of the week. And that is the problem here for the AGF side. Dropping like flies here. They try and take the fight through towards the side of the area. It's not paid off at all. Finally, Cristal gets something for his troubles, taking down Avis, who pushes up close and personal. But ultimately, it's still Izako Boars in a significant advantage here.
Follow up flash pushes his way in. Great shot with the Mag 7 though. And this is a hard fight to isolate, and they're just going to back away from that. They don't want to be pushing into a Mag 7 anytime soon. That rotate's happening, and it's happening loud as well. So straight over towards this A site. Great start from Cristal. Somehow AGF have turned this on its head. There's the second kill. X is going down. They've got an ult for themselves as well. AGF, they'll find it back. That was it was a hard loss in that last round. X is just slaughtering them one by one, but this time, despite that rough start for AGF, they managed to hold on and get themselves a second round. Izako, they're actually reset, so they could find themselves a third, and that was a must-win round from AGF. Utility in towards
there's a ton more from AGF exactly like that round. That's going to be their problem here, is they can't afford these misses. That AWP should be finding what? I mean, did he even find a single point of damage there on that push? He's died to a Glock.
That is
Glocks,
unfortunate.
yeah.
Oh, picked up. Oh, he can actually use that as bait, but now, just lucky, trying to find all these kills one by one. He finds another one, switches over to the pistol, looking for one more, as Frostlev is there finally to chime in. And Shuey, what can he do? He's got an M4 in his hands. There is the first. Didn't take any damage in that point, and he doesn't have any armor, so aim punch could be a bit of a problem here. Lucky he's already on 3 kills. Frostlev's on the 1. So they need 2 players that got some kills for the side of AGF. They'll be trying to add to their stats here, but look what's been done to the money for AGF as well as Izako Boars. They've destroyed their economy at this point, so already a very successful round considering what they entered this with. And Shuey, he could start to take this away as well. They've got 45 seconds left, so he does have time to work with, but a great shot from Frostlev on the peak from Shuey, and it's a third on the board, but it was a costly one at that. And AGF, they won't have a perfect buy this round. They can drop over for their teammates, but that's done so much damage to their economy.
Yeah, this is where it starts to become quite painful for both sides, in fact, here, but particularly as Izako Boars, that strong lead they built up, that was looking so spicy early on, is now quite rapidly disintegrated. 4 rounds is really on the table here for AGF, and a 5th potentially after that as well, if Izako Boars can't contest it in round 8. And this is pretty critical. And not a good start either. Alice smited down early on by the likes of TMB, who just hops his way down Ivy.
Trying to bait out a couple of legs. Cheeky little ankle peek, but Netric, he won't even challenge it. He'll just stay behind, play a little bit safer, wait for a potential push to come in, as Xian will find Frostlev. And TMB, he's playing a dangerous game here, pushing all the way up towards T-Main. Wants to go towards Olaf as well, and he's not going to be rewarded as Toa. That is high risk, and it was very low reward there, as these kills are just coming in left and right for the side of Izako. And considering the money that AGF already had going into this round, it's looking good for them, as Cristal will find one before he goes down, but this is down to Lucky yet again. In the 1 versus 3, a head was presented, but won't be found, as Shuey will find him on the flank, and it will be a 5th on the board for Izako Boars.
Talk about surviving on the cusp of death there. That 5th round for Izako Boars comes at a pretty crucial time, denying AGF the ability to tie up the scoreline and push ahead as well. Keeping control for the T side. You can see the money of AGF not pretty either, so it's going to be the full force up from the AGF side. Just imagine a world where the T-side win this for a second, but looking at 6-3 on Train. That's an incredible start. These pistols going to keep things spicy here as the Eagles shots traded back and forth. That 3v3 begins to take hold, but ultimately cut down by the T side. Putting those AKs to use here. Do see a nice Eagle shot come through from Cristal, though. That does change things slightly. And here's an opportunity for a second here as well. That's quite a nasty angle from Green Train on towards Bomb Train there. Izako Boars do have to be careful, particularly with that flank now coming through. Knife out. It's a no-scope with the scout. That's what we like to see. And Bomb's still not down either. Yes, he's got an AWP in play. And he may well be a wonder boy as you describe him, but he's got a lot to do here. Shuffling around for weapons, switching out to the AK now. So you quite realise where his opponent actually is, just dancing around the Bomb Train. No, he's not seen him. He's simply not seen him.
And you can tell at that point that he's a right-handed gun kind of player, because that was his rifle was blocking that head from popping up on the side of the Bomb Train. So AGF, they'll take a round back from Izako Boars. Somehow this is going back and forth with AGF on the CT side, and Izako Boars, they're still doing a lot of damage, but both teams, I mean, they've been breaking each other's economy so consistently. But at this point, AGF, they're playing with the 2 AWPs still in play, but they got an MP9 and the FAMAS. That can actually work out in this round, considering Izako Boars didn't really invest anything. They went for a full eco, and so Netric, he's the one to look at, because you want to get as many kills as possible. Christo, he had such a problem with these Glocks, that movement speed, and combined with how fast they can be, it can be a bit of a hard target. Christo's been struggling, as damage is being done by these Glocks. I don't understand Izako Boars. They're feeling it today, it feels like. He's seeing so many kills coming, and finally Christo will catch one of these players with his AWP, as TMB finds another. It's the AWPs finding the kills so far. Navis a little bit. Netric turns around, finds another, and down he goes. Huey. Last man standing on 37 HP. Netric could pick up this last kill, give himself 1800 in the single round. Just staying as close to the wall as possible. Exposed and down. Frostlev catching him as soon as he moves, and a 5th on the board. AGF, they've tied things up.
A surprising turnaround, in fact, for the CT side, though. Izako Boars were in a prime position there to reach 6-7 rounds and really cement themselves to the in-control T side here. So, arguably dropping the ball, allowing the critical round through, and now the CT side are in position to actually manage the scoreline a little bit here, and ensure that Izako Boars don't get that free reign on that T side.
Oof! TMB lit down, doesn't expect Frostlev to be so close though, and so does light TMB down very low, but ultimately they get the kill. Shui will be finding Netric, and still TMB can be so deadly from this position, but Shui has managed to find his way all the way inside the site, jumping off the ladder. He won't find anything else, TMB, as Shui's found a double kill in this entry, and it's a 2 versus 4. Shui's been doing all the work here on Train. Shen goes down. But I mean, the damage is already done. Like he has to pull off something amazing here. He will find Shui. And that is the heaven position taken care of. And Molly can go down over towards Sandwich. That peek comes in and doesn't manage to find the kill though. Look, he can still do this, but now it's so much more difficult. He finds the one, can't find the second. As Toa, great peek, working together to find that kill. And it does come down to a 1 versus 1, but ultimately, Izako Boars will pull ahead yet again. AGF can't really invest into this round, but we will see. Never mind, they are investing into this round. Good grief. It will be the M4 coming out, the 2 M4s and the MP9, so they want to force this issue. And to be fair, Izako Boars, they had their money very low as well. Looking at this round, you've got a Scout and a Mac 10 to work against, and then the 3 AKs. That is the only big advantage Izako have going into this round. And so damage still potential here for AGF, as the first kill will go in favor of AGF, and that was onto one of the rifles. TMB Frostlev working together, Exus and Xian. It's the Scout and how does it keep going back and forth like this? Great shot from Exis. Tries to find the follow-up. Doesn't even do any damage onto him, but AGF bring it back into a 6-6, and I don't understand how this is going back and forth so much. One round, they just look so dominant. Sui enters the site and finds himself a 3k, a 4k, and then the rest of his teammates sort of just crumble. If Sui goes down first, the rest of his team just can't operate without him, it seems so far here on Train. AGF, I mean, that seems to be the only factor. It's that great entry coming in from Sui every time.
Just goes to show just how close this map is actually going to be, and potentially reflects the best of 3 as well. Currently, right now, down to the wire, 6-6. No way to separate either team. I do have to say, though, for Izako Boars, they are getting maximum value here from their T side. If even they can go 7-7, heck, if they can go 8-7 here, for example's sake, 8 rounds of your T side trade is still pretty mecha. Like, you're not really asking for much more than that.
We're all seeing some of the players for the side of AGF looking very on top of their game right now, as Avis was not expecting that peak to come in. Toa is there for the refrag. And AGF, they're in a position to counter this push to come in. At least Christau is. All Sui can do at this point is just watch in case someone tries to lurk into Pop Dog. Frostlife rotating over as well. They could rotate. And again, time and time again, Izako Boars so patient on this T side. Just inching his way down. Netric has no info towards this push into the site. He hasn't spotted them coming out of Pop Dog. No one see them. Netric, all he can do is wait for the sound of the bomb plant. Inside the smoke. Oh no. Doesn't check the corner. He thinks he's planting inside of the site. It will be Sui finding the kill on the Netric. And that's an AK picked up for him as well. Has damage inside of that smoke. Sui somehow he's going to try and do this, isn't he? 2 kills already to his name. He's got half armor. That AK being picked up. He put himself in such a great position to pull this off. Christau now in a 1 versus 2 with a scout of all things. Not the easiest weapon to clutch with, as it won't be the case. Sui, a 3k in the round, and Izako Boars yet again pull ahead. And I don't think that should have happened, but Izako Boars just keep doing it. And AGF, they're reset once more.
Problem here now is we're going to see probably a full force-up come through from AGF. And the result is Izako Boars take the win. They're guaranteed 8 rounds, which is huge for the T side. But even so, minimum 7 now. I think Izako Boars have to be extremely happy with where they've been able to get on their T side. They've done their job here, ultimately.
Good damage onto Xian to start the round off. 7 HP remaining. And so Izako Boars, they're now aware that there should be some buy-up, some weapons in the hands of AGF. So they'll be a little bit more careful, but just so slow and trying to calculate as much as possible playing on this T side, as TMB will be fighting Xian. And these kind of rounds have worked out really well for AGF over and over again. The Scouts, the Deagles, the SMGs, and the Mag 7s have been doing a lot of work. Christau tired of peak shots, and we'll just go for a wide swing as Avis will punish him. TMB spots the cross. X is unable to capitalize just yet. He does have a teammate in position to try and free frag, but just as I say that, X's catches him. And full spray down, not going to result in anything as Izako Boars bring it up to 8 points, and AGF, they got nothing going into this last round. They could pull this into a 9-6, and that would be incredible for Izako Boars.
Yeah, I mean, that just doubles down on what we just talked about, right? I thought 9-6 would be off the table here for a T side, but just that match and that result, that's absolutely pucker for Izako Boars. You just no complaints at all. They got themselves in the prime position to close this out for a map for them right now.
5 deagles, plenty of armor, and a good amount of utility. At this point, I'm sure they're hoping just to find a couple of kills with Izako Boars, pick up some rifles, and try and work their way back into this. But Izako Boars, they rarely show that much presence. They're rarely pushing. And the only times we've really seen it, they've even big mistakes, like pushing into connector with your knife out, carrying the bomb, things like that. Smoke goes down. Shen's lost all visibility there. But all 5 of these players from Izako Boars, they're ready to make a pounce into this B site. As Netric will catch one player from behind. And now the push, that forces their push into the B site. Shen finding the first. And they're taking the site completely, seeing how clear it is. And there's still 2 players on that flank. Exodus waiting for this peek to come in. Great headshot onto Netric. And the kills, I mean, they just keep coming in. This should be a Izako Boars online here, unless Frostlev does something. And I don't see it happening, but I say that. He's just found a second headshot. He's running out of time, though. 15 seconds remaining on the clock. A smoke down over towards the site. He doesn't really leave himself that much time. He doesn't have a kit, and basically they've lost this round. So that is going to be 9 points to Izako Boars on their map pick. And what a great start, especially considering the odds that we've seen and just their win rate on this map. You expect a lot more from AGF on their CT side, and Izako Boars, a dominant T side. They lost a couple of rounds there, made a couple of bad mistakes, and Sui up to 16 kills in the first 15 rounds. I thought he had a little bit more than that, but everyone else, they seem to be doing so well for their team. It's pretty even across the board, to be fair. And so now AGF, they're hoping to take this back. They win this pistol round, they could be straight back into this game, but Izako Boars, they're wanting to run away with this.
I'm really curious to see how this pistol goes now, just generally what the performance of AGF is like in the second half, because that is a perfect half for Izako Boars. They've done the job now. It just means all they have to do is focus on closing this out on the CT side. They couldn't have asked for a better half time.
Shen, he could find the bomb carrier here, as it's a crouch peek out, and it's a dink onto Shen, and he has to back away as Avis. He's in the position to capitalize, tapping away, but he's missing his shots, and oh no! It seems to be some kind of a CT side curse, because so many of these easy shots are being missed. Kills will start to rain in, though, just as I say that, as TMB, he's by himself inside this B side, does catch a flick onto Shui's head. And it will be the USP picked up. He's in a 1 versus 3, and that bomb is very far away. He does have 1 minute left on the clock. But once he makes that rotate over towards Pop Dog, starts to push his way back into the site, he won't have much time left remaining. And so he needs to just be at the very top of his game right now. He needs to be pushing as fast as he can, but as carefully as possible as well. As now making his way down into Pop Dog. Toe is situated over towards underneath Heaven. You can see Avis in Hell, and X is sitting down inside of tunnels. And so, with 35 seconds left on the clock, he's got a lot of targets to find. And great shot from Exis there. That's going to be Izako Boars finding the pistol round. They're up to 10 now, and a great start on Train. That is exactly what they needed.
This is what you want to see, right? Up to 9 rounds on the first half, converting to second round pistol. As well in the second half. All they have to do now is make sure that they deal with any force up that AGF potentially throw their way, which is, and they'll be in a great position of force that will come through. So we're going to be looking at 11 rounds here, almost certainly.
Oh, this nade. Look what it does to them. They've just been utterly destroyed, and Toa and Exodus will be finding a 4K and a 1K altogether, and an 11th, an easy 11th on the board for Izako Boars. That's a perfect defense at the B side from a Glock rush. time, though, we're seeing the Krieg in the hands of Christo. Those MP9s and the FAMAS definitely at a disadvantage at this point, unless they can find themselves some close-range fights where they can use their mobility to their advantage. Lucky afraid of getting caught through the smoke there as Xian just chasing down Frostlev. That's been AK picked up for him. And no responses just yet. Avis finding Lucky. And still, all this damage being done. AGF haven't found a single kill in this round as Xian has caught Christo. Last man standing, TMB will finally find one, looking for the 2 headshots, but it will be Avis shut them down. That's a 12th on the board. Izako Boars, they're looking so good so far. They went into that round with a FAMAS and 3 MP9s. They walk out of it with 2 AKs, 2 M4s, and the AUG. AGF, they have absolutely nothing after that round. They've lost everything, and Izako Boars, they can definitely get the 13th on the board here, but they're getting so close, and AGF, that's a long comeback, and I don't see it happening on this map.
Yeah, this is becoming something quite dangerous here, actually. Unfortunately for AGF, they just are in so much pressure now to have a perfect T round early on here because the Izako scoreline is just so daunting. As you say, they should be 13 now, assuming no issues dealing with the T side, and that's ridiculous. It really is. Only 3 rounds then required to get over the line.
Nice little jump down from Christo to find a kill with the P250. How much more can they do? It's Exis. He gets dinked down to 12 HP. Sienna 35. Damage is being done, but again, they just have such a difficult time closing out these kills. TMB does have an AK picked up for himself. And so Toa doesn't really make too much of a deal of it, making his way back into the site. There will be a 13th on the board. And AGF will be able to buy it on the next round. Do some good damage, to be fair, in this round. Taking down Avis and Shui. Exis and Xian were very low. This was definitely a round they could have stolen away, but won't be the case just yet. And so, full buy coming in from the side of AGF. The AWP in the hands of Christau. Izako Boars, they've got 4 rifles. And Avis, can we pick up the AWP? Yes, he will. There it is in his hands. And plenty of utility to work with as well. So, AGF, they are still not going to have an easy time pushing into either of these sides. Such great positioning coming in from Xian time and time again. He's giving himself all of these fights.
This just goes from bad to worse, though, doesn't it? It's getting first blood here in these rounds now. Solid flashbang. Means Frostlev knows he's about to be put under pressure as well. It seems like this AGF side of just being really taken advantage of it by CT side, who are just on the ball. Look at that, catching TMB in team A now as well. Frostlev, hungry for a trade, will at least be good for one, but he doesn't know he's quite getting it screwed from behind here, does he? That's what happens. 4v2 now. Not really sure how Jeff plan on saving this round, to be honest with you. 14-6 on the table. Nuts.
He failed the smoke there as well. Can't remember the last time I saw a Polish team getting this kind of a score against a Danish team. As Toa in a good position to receive this push to come in as Avis catches Christau, and they know where Lucky is. There's Toa to find him. 14th on the board for Izako Boars and AGF. They really can't find a foothold on this T side, and it just goes to show how well Izako Boars were doing on their T side. 9-6, and AGF can't find a single round.
Not much more left to be said, is there, to be honest? This is just straight one-sided decimation at this point. Does leave some questions open for map 2 though, doesn't it? Given as Izako Boars, the team currently controlling the scoreline. Fed yet another early kill as well by Netrick, just fumbling around on the ladder. Absolute disaster.
I would be
This
pleasantly
might be over
surprised
already.
if.
We get to see a single bit of success from this AGF side at all.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'd be very happily surprised if Izako Boars somehow found this series 2-0, considering those odds, considering the difference between these two teams. Because Izako Boars, we've seen them play a couple of times now, but not like this. This is great defense. They've had great attacks. It seems like they've redone their prep here on Train. That's TMB catching Shui, and unfortunately, Toe was unable to see that rotate in towards the ramp. There will be the one kill. Exus finds one to Lucky as well. As Frostlev, he gets his head found there by Exus as well. And that's going to be a match point for Izako Boars. And they have so much money to waste. AGF, they, well, they don't have that much to work with at all going into this round. They have the AK. They can force buy a number of AKs, some half armor or full armor, and a couple of Galils or SMGs, and they can have utility. But they're going up against Izako Boars with 2 AWPs and 3 M4s, so it's not going to be an easy time for AGF, especially on that T side. As a bomb makes its way through corridor, and no push whatsoever from AGF over towards Ivy. Double
Starting to
kill
see if they can
coming in.
work their way out here, but already just the bloodbath comes through thick and fast. They begin to fall. TMB is going to be good for a trade on the site, but ultimately it's a case of when will they collapse from Connector. Optical as well proving to be a point of discussion here. The amount of time to work with, and a good duel from TMB will actually equal the numbers, but there's Toyo and his teammate coming into play, and job done for Izako Boars. 16-6, folks. The scoreline for map number 1. Izako Boars stepping up at a surprising form to secure themselves map 1 in this best of 3, but map 2 is now where we're going to be heading, and we get to see exactly what Izako Boars can do, and if they can turn the surprise 2-0 into a real result. Join us for that, folks, in just a few moments' time. Don't go nowhere. You're here with the CSGO Cyberbet Golden League.
won anything there either. So this would be quite something to see if Izako Boars could take it 2-0 over AGF, considering the odds, considering their history, and again, history, it could be thrown out the window, but how big a difference can you make before it's like, okay, historically speaking, when you drop a rock to the ground, it doesn't float to the ceiling. Izako Boars, can they take this away? That's what we're about to find out.
And honestly, I think part of me thinks they actually can here. I mean, Dust 2 is a very open-ended map. There isn't really much to it. It's purely just about your aim jewels and your ability to frag out, right? So, based on what we saw in the last map, there's a ton of that on the Izako Boars side. So, pressure on AGF here to show up and start with a bang. Of course, knife round going to take place now. Waiting to see if Izako Boars will get the preference to choosing exactly where they get to start.
I mean, if you're Izako Boars, right, we saw what they were doing on train. It was that slow, calculated T side, waiting for picks to reveal themselves, and then those very, very quick pushes at the very end. It was always really good aim on their side as well. And so, what do you normally see here on Dust 2? It's always that A long play. That's generally what's abused. The mid to B smoke, that one comes out every now and then. It's that short play in towards the A side. You rain down the smokes and short and walk into that A side, or it's the straight up B rush. And you get a couple of those, you get a mix of those happening in these games. And Izako Boars, they have to try and they have to basically work around those strats with this new pace that they're taking on this T side. And AGF, how will they adapt to that as well? Because they had a very hard time adapting to that on train. They couldn't adapt to it in the end. And that 96 scoreline, well, Izako Boars, I think they could get a good lead on their T side here. And, I mean, that 2-0, definitely on the board. As you said, I mean, I believe it. And if you believe it as well, well, I feel reaffirmed as well. TMB seeing this smoke, that's a dangerous position to be in. Oh my goodness, they actually think to shoot into that smoke. And so already a good start.
To 1 HP. He's just been dinked to 1 HP.
Oh no, oh no.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
Always a scary
That
prospect.
has got to suck. Just generally speaking, that has to be the worst position to be in, unfortunately. Still standing, net record 3 HP as well. They're just trading at this point. This is savage. It's just dinks galore.
That's a bad time, isn't it? TMB as well. He hides inside that smoke. That could have resulted in so much. They push into A short. He can get a couple of backstabs, but just doesn't happen. You're seeing a lot of missed shots coming in from the side of AGF, and Izako Boars just hitting these heads non-stop. And I mean, they've got that momentum from that first game, right? They're going up against a team that supposedly they're not supposed to be able to beat, and they're beating them, and they're feeling it as well. And oh my goodness, what a start into the second round as well, as Exis rips head of TMB. That's 2 rounds in a row where he started off just getting completely destroyed by an enemy he can't even see. Oh, Avis. They're looking so good.
Yeah, not bad at all. That is a nice little way to start the show here. More taps come through. That scout looking for some damage here, but unable to cash in. SMG now going to go run a ruckus here as more kills come through, more money to be made, and most importantly, a bomb to go down.
Oh!
0 on the table for Izako Boars. The pristine start to Dust 2.
2 smoke kills. One of them's a headshot with a scout. Izako Boars. I'm warming up to that. I have to say, this Polish team, like, we've seen them stumble every now and then. They've had some bad games, but here, they're looking so good. It's a great start. I mean, we're only 2 rounds in. We can't say how the rest of this first half is going to go. AGF, they haven't even had their rifles out yet, but as good a start as any. I mean, again, they're not missing these shots. TMB down low. Toa still looking to find some kills here. Another $600 in his wallet. 3 players in towards mid. And they can just ignore that position. They can walk straight into A. It's completely clear. Spotted in towards mid. Toa is still just trying to farm up the money here. As he's about to get encroached on by a number of players. He's still somehow alive. As Exis is there as well to bail out Netric. Toa still has 9 bullets in his chamber. It will be Sui to find the last kill. No bomb plant will happen, so no extra money for them, but they're not worried about that. They're 3-0 and they've got so much money in the bank, it's absolutely fine. AGF, it's the double AWP setup coming out very early yet again, and the M4's in play. And we have seen AGF get some sick kills with those. Crystal and in general, it has been so consistent with it. And so, will we see a slowdown here from Izako Boars, or do they double down? We're still seeing the MAC-10, the Galil, the Scout, so much for them to work with.
Looks like they're going to be sending that MAC-10 straight through, just hunting for stability damage. Has to back away though, realizing that the rifle has fallen back. Is now Lucky comes under pressure here, gets one for his troubles, but trade immediately. The B site now completely under wraps. This is a disaster. If the smoke comes in through door, there's basically no response here at all for this T side.
They're
T
looking.
side, should I say? The T side are laughing. I mean, this is great for them.
This is insane. You see Cien get that double kill, turns around, swaps over the weapon to the Scout in perfect timing, turns straight back into the site. That bomb goes down. The 3 last players from AGF are just so far displaced, and being that B retake, it's so difficult already. And Izako Boars, they know that. They know that for a fact. They go into this round knowing they've got worse weaponry. So they know that if they gamble on this B site, they take it. They're not going to be able to push back in. And whoever was holding that B site, they get to pick up their weapons for free. And it's an AWP upgrade for them in exchange for a Scout and a MAC-10. And the money is just huge already for Izako Boars. AGF, they saved that last round. They can drop over to the 2 players that went down. No opportunity for a double AWP setup to come out again. And so it will be 3 M4s and the FAMAS for Lucky. And potential 5th here on the board for Izako Boars. I mean, their T side's just brilliant. Oh,
This
that's
is the
a
thing, as you
gamble.
say, that the T side is just on the ball. I mean, look at this. It's been 5 seconds, Jaeger. 5 seconds, and they already found 2 early kills. We do thankfully see Frozlev and Cristal trade things back to a workable spot here, bringing it to a 3v3. So they've saved the day for all intents and purposes. But still, what a start into a round so far. Toyo, if he gets a frag on shore here, this could be huge. Just got to see if he can peek under the crosshair of this orb here. I wonder if he even knows that someone's to his right-hand side as they do start pushing up long as well. Toyo just debating, how do I want to go about this?
Oh, Christo, timing. It all comes down to that timing. And who can even shoot first. If Christo misses that shot, he just goes down regardless. As Toa just finds Frostlev because he couldn't get any information from Christo that there was someone just hiding in short.
This is where things get interesting now, though. You've got this long siege with no short presence. Both smokes in play, the AWP standing in the smoke here. If Abyss can get up close, he could do some serious damage.
It's a great response from Lucky, though.
Unfortunately, he shows a little too much head off the back of that taken down, and the AWP cleans up from there. So, not going to be that perfect 5-0, despite an incredible start to the round. They do fumble, and in the end, it will be an AGF CT round.
And we saw this happen on train as well. Izako Boars to get up to that 4-point score line. AGF bring it back. They turn it into 2 rounds on the back of a lucky play coming in from a push down to that B site. And so, will we see just a reflection of what we saw on train here? We see the 3 players make their way over towards this B site now. They could take this straight back, and it's not going to be a straight up B rush, just fast presence into tunnels. And then they slow down. They go into their default slow play, wait for the peaks, wait for the game just to shift in their favor, and for AGF to get over aggressive. Because time and time again, we're seeing them not wanting to stay still. They want to get more information. They want to get more map control. And Izako Boars, they know it. And I have to say as well, luck can play a big part, and so far it does seem to be on the side of Izako.
See how they decide to approach this a bit, though. Looking like we are either going to be seeing a short play or that mid to be come through. So he leads a charge, immediately headshots. Takes down Frozlev as well, who's by far one of the key players in the past here for AGF. As Now Izako Boars regroup themselves towards short. Cristal's expecting it to be a mid play. You get a drive-by tapped here from short if he's not careful. They're already through. He peeks, he's dead. That's a disaster. Absolute disaster. Their teammate in mid is going to catch the rotations. I mean, literally, this is a spanking
Wow!
from Izako Boars.
Yeah, he's just expecting the push at every corner. It's so good from Izako Boars. They dropped around, they get straight back into it, and AGF, the money is low again. They're not afraid to force buy in the past. We've seen them do it over and over again, despite going into rounds with just MP9s or whatever else. And this time it will be a half buy instead. The CZ's coming out, the 5.7s and the Deagle. Izako Boars, they're just... It's like they've got a sixth sense turned on here at the moment, and they catch them at every single turn. That game sense actually a part of their bodies now. Xian catching Cristal just as he pushes through. The double spray down from Toa over towards tunnels, and Xian finding Netric. I mean, how fast can a round be? And how perfect at that? A 6-1 Izako Boars dominating AGF.
I'm not sure if there's anything else to say. I think that is the game, isn't it? Pretty much. Just Izako Boars hungry for a swift 2-0 here, and they have put themselves in a heck of a position to get the job done here. 6-1 so far. Almost thought for a second they were going to be going for that mid frag. Very close to finding it, but not quite today. Now we'll see a little bit of long pressure applied. Molotov towards door will slow them down. As Netric has got himself in towards pit at least, as they do begin to slow towards long, but a full whiff. Now Cristal being tapped out as well, he's under pressure. He's desperate to try and find some sort of kill on the cross, but nades come raining down. He misses his opportunity. Now he's going to get mollied off as well.
It's a good
Finally
shot.
pulls through with Avix though, that's a good kill to find. The molly further back behind Kara as well, but the problem they've got now is that his position is now pretty much confirmed. He can't escape. That's a 4v3 for all intents and purposes.
Still the patience from Izako Boars. They're hoping for an overextension here, and AGF now maybe starting to adapt a little bit. Not lurking too much. You can see even TMB in that position over in lower tunnels. He's not pushing. He's just holding. They're all just trying to hold for now.
And there you have it. Cristal found already. That siege of the A site comes through now as Frostlev going to take a peek. Immediately hits the deck as well. Lucky position now revealed too, but unfortunately he's popped off a little too quickly. Achieved absolutely nothing. Leaving TMB last man standing in a 1 versus 4. Jaeger, what's happening here, Chief? It's 7-1. You told me we were casting the best of 3 today. This is not 3 hours. This has been like an hour. What's going on?
And this is Izako Boars as well, right? We were thinking, and not just us. Okay, we can see your odds. We know how many of you have bet on AGF. Everyone was saying it was going to be AGF getting this, and so far, Izako Boars, they look on top of this game, and AGF just don't seem to have any kind of a look in. We saw them have a huge advantage there, and it just gets turned on its head instantly, and again, the money for AGF, gone. Izako Boars, they've basically won this half going into this. And the scout comes out, but this I like seeing this Izako Boars. This is such a good team to watch.
Exactly. I love this. I love everything about this. It is absolutely impeccable. Or is going to get caught, though, top mid. I do need a rifle there, boys, to go and just secure that, please. Just let's avoid any shenanigans. CZ's close range, not what I like to be seeing as well. Can we just make sure our Izako Boars don't go and throw an eco around? That would be a little concerning here, as they're nearly getting blocked in top mid as well.
Can't
It
pick up
looks
any
like
guns.
through all the rhetoric, they will actually survive. And funnily enough, the orb wasn't picked up. Oh.
That was Toa, perfect timing. Pushing out of a house to pick up Lucky as he pushed all the way up. And so now the last 2 players from AGF, they're hoping to try and push their way back up, try and pick up the guns that were dropped. They do have an AK to work with. Great shot from Netric. Can't find the second, but they're expecting potential second push. Frostlev, he'll be hiding in mid.
Problem is, this is so one and done. You're not gonna have two players run past you here, like knife out or something. They're gonna check it. So even if he gets a nice surprise headshot or something, like it's the definition of one and done.
God,
Didn't even get that,
Avis.
unfortunately. Avis just flicks to the left and boom, decapitated. It's 8-1! 8-1! Jaeger, please!
What is this from AGF? That double up is going to be coming out again. No head armor for any of these players. Not too big a deal. They're going up against AKs as well, so they won't be worrying. But Izako Boars, I mean, look, they got 3 players on 10k. Toe's actually maxed out his money. And, I mean, what more can we say? Izako, every single time, they just got all the right timings. They're just calm and collected. They're finding all of these trades. What is that from Kristau? He just peeks straight down into mid. They're trying to get aggressive, I guess, to try and get some early picks going in their favor. But Izako Ball is always in the right time at the right place. And, I mean, they're just looking that much sharper as well, isn't it? It's how many of these aim duels, they just winning straight out as blinds himself, and Avis, he'll capitalize immediately. But, good news for them is, it's a 2 versus 1. That bomb is not dropped for them, but instead of holding, they will leave it as Avis will find the one player that was holding. That's the bomb picked up. Molly in towards short. There's a bomb going to be going down. And Lucky makes his way up towards a long.
Does he check long though? Avis.
What is that?
How does he win the fight? How does he win that fight? Lucky. What are you doing, Chief?
I
Where's your mouse and your
can't
keyboard?
believe it.
What's happened there?
He just
throw it all out
flicks.
the window. I mean, literally, what's happened there? Alt F4, boys. It's over. It's over.
That is the most demoralizing shot, isn't it? Because that is the kill that gets you your second round. You miss that shot, he turns and completely rips your head off, and it's an instant kill. I cannot believe they won that round. So this time it's the Deagles. Huey, feeling a bit confident, jumps straight through that smoke before it's even flew properly, and well, it's traded straight back. Somehow Avis has won that. Netric does bring it back, and there's an AK for him to pick up. His teammates found one as well. So it's a 3 versus 4 here. And hiding in the corner will be Lucky, and I wonder if Toe has spotted him crossing over. As the smoke goes down, it's going to be the mid to B. As great spray through the smoke from TMB. Maybe a second on the board here for AGF. As, oh no, gives away his position, but they will find the round on the back of a pistol.
I mean, I'm lost at this point. This game, I don't even know what's happening. I mean, the last round was insane, then they just won a pistol round now. Still a little bit nuts. Still 9-2, so for Izako Boars, the goal here now is just to make sure they don't get ahead of themselves, and they do close out 12-3, ideally 13-2. That's the goal.
I mean, we saw that last round, that was very fast aggression from Izako, which is not how they've been playing so far. And so, in that kind of aspect, it seems AGF have no problem. When Izako take their time and work their way around all of this utility, they seem to get that advantage. TMB, though, finding a double kill early on in this round. And he seems to be the only one that really is finding all these kills, as now stuck in this corner. Exis missing non-stop, and well, TMB finds a third, and it's down to Xian. And somehow AGF, if they can bring this up to a 6, like if they just turn this straight around, that would be insane. Because how could they? Izako Boars, they've got the momentum, they've got the motivation, they've got such a huge score lead. But again, it's CS, it can turn straight on its head. Izako Boars, they need to keep on this. They need to keep on that slow play, not getting too fast and not getting over aggressive, giving away these kills early on. They know where he is now. As a flash comes out, great response, a spray down. He nearly gets a lineup there as a flash follows up. Trying to isolate this fight. Oh no, can't pick out the molly in time, and it will be TMB to get a 4K in the round. And how often can you really ask for him to do that? As well as Izako Boars, it's the lowest we've seen their money in a while, but still enough for a full buy. AGF, that's more money than we've seen them have in a while after a buy. So it's looking a little bit better for AGF, but still, I have my doubts.
If they can keep it rolling, maybe there's something here. It's a big if, but maybe. And they have to keep it rolling. Toyo, though, rookie mistake there, not checking CT. So maybe mistakes are going to start to settle in for Izako Boars, and they're going to start letting these rounds slip away.
Would be an absolute shame as well if they just suddenly just start losing out of nowhere like this. Time to make mistakes, and I mean, it's still possible at this point. It's a 3 versus 3 technically over towards this B side. That flash comes out. Great shot from Lucky. As Xian will find the one. Can't find the second just yet. The flash comes out. TMB. And jumping down. Sui has found Christo. And Xian has had to back away out of B as the rotate is now making its way over towards A. But Netric is in high mid. The lurk finally paying off for him. Xian missing the shot. Spraying through that smoke. Damage being done to him. How is he still in this game? Flash comes out, completely blinded. Great flash there from Netric, and it will be a 4th on the board for AGF. Now they're making this competitive. 4 on their CT side could be better, but could definitely be a lot worse. We were at 9-1 at some point.
This is much better for AGF. At the end of the day, heck, even an 11-4 is still winnable. Put it in perspective for a second, this was looking like it was going to be a 13-2 or a 14-1 even. So the fact of the matter they have 4 rounds is already insane, let alone the fact that now you're looking at quite a scrappy buy from Izako Boars with money left in the bank. There's a chance we see a 9-6 here, which is a little wild if you think about it.
This is slow playing again from Izako Boars. And they're gathering up over towards A, and AGF, they're not pushing, not getting aggressive. It's a game of chess at this point. That's now ready in position to burst out into this A site. The smoke should be coming through, and the flashes. And they're leaving themselves, starting to leave themselves with a lot less time on the clock. Jumping straight down into CT. Exus does have that cross, but Christo and Frost, they're both finding kills. Christo can now start to make some space for himself. Ahead, he's just waiting for one to pop up as just crouch walking into the site. The nade comes out. He has to back away first. Give some space so his teammates can rotate over as the bomb is being planted for short.
Not really too much that can be done in the immediate part of this retake, but what will happen is when they peek up through round, that's when things get interesting. Slowly but surely those fights start to have some reality to them. A couple duels go back and forth. In the end, it seems to be AGF coming out ahead here as Avis becomes last man standing. They do try to get on the defuse though, and that's a rookie mistake. Smoke does go through.
What?
Avis gets to clean things up in the end, and I think jumping on the defuse there is where they get caught out, but ultimately time working against them as well. They kind of had no choice, I suppose. Stuck in a rock and a hard place. And Izako Boars used that off the back of Avis to get into double digits here, at least guaranteeing a 10-5.
My goodness. Avis a 4K in that round. He realizes he's not on the bomb, flicks his crosshair right over towards the baskets, and he finds that kill. Unfortunately, at the end of that round, as you can see, Toa is only on a Tech 9 because Avis dropped his rifle to try and pick up the AWP, and it just didn't get picked up. So they go into this round one gun down. And so, good job by AGF, at least for the economy damage. But my goodness, this scoreline from Izako Boars. They gave up 3 rounds in a row. Izako Boars finally managed to take one back. They could turn this into 11, and they'd have 5 rounds to go to take it away 2-0 from AGF. And I mean, if we recall, Izako Boars' defense was steadfast. Toa to lead the charge with the Tech 9. Can he find anything with it? So far, nothing, as the kills are coming in for the side of AGF, TMB and Frostlive. It will be the one nade to do damage, but Avis, yet again, left with everything to do here.
This does seem to be a bit of a repeating scenario, doesn't it? Avis left to be the absolute hero here, going for the one-way Molotov. He's always pretty crafty. He just sees him, but unfortunately a little too late. Off the back of that now, should be pretty much guaranteed. And that's that. 10-5, not actually that bad, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, for either
I think
side.
AGF getting a little bit more than they bargained for there, actually.
I'd agree there.
Here we are now, though, at 10-5. You can see that last quick stint from AGF coming at the end there. That momentum early on was absolutely savage. I do have to wonder if we see something like that again here, going into the start of the second half. Will we be looking at just a swift shutdown from Izako Boars and ultimately a 2-0 in this best of 3 after all?
Fast play over towards A long. Oh, Avis, my goodness! Just a drive-by as he crosses over. Look at that flash that comes out as well. It stops that progress from crossing over towards the ramp. Sui has managed to get it on the other side. The knives come out!
How has he got a knife in a pistol round? How has that happened?
I mean, just rubbing salt in the wound as Sien. It's a perfect round from Izako Boars, and they're 5 away from winning this. I can't believe they take that pistol round away. And a knife to top things off. Sui, the M4 will be coming out on the second round. He's got plenty to work with in this. 3 MP9s and the Scout. AGF looking to try and even it straight away because they can't let Izako get away with any more rounds at this point. It's going to be the Deagles coming out, the Tech 9s, Frostlev on the Mac 10. And these are their hopes and efforts going into this round. The Molly straight into A house, forces back TMB, and so no progress made over towards A long. And they have full control at this point. Izako Boars maybe try and see, rather AGF, trying to see if they can do what Izako Boars did with the slow plays. But they're not the most patient team so far.
Patience the key tactic here. It's all you can do if you're AGF now is just try and really be smart in what you're building up onto these sites. I like that from short. That overwhelming force play seems to pay some dividends as well. Leads us to the 2v2 as Netric, with his trusty M4, tries to put it to use. As Lucky with the Deagle, desperate for a frag as well. Exus with the Scout though.
What?
Unfortunately, will be there to finish things off, and still Izako Boars come out ahead despite 5 shots from a Deagle and a full duel towards long.
The Scout won out against the M4. I can't believe it. This is Izako Boars. Even when that looked like it was great for AGF, that looked like, you know what, they can do this. They've managed to steal one away, and then all of a sudden, how's that even happened? Such intense aim coming in from Izako Boars as well. How much pressure it's applying onto them as Netric and Frost are both finding kills, but Netric can't get away. Sui will find him, and do they go for this B retake? It's a hard one. Shuey playing very close to these double doors, looking down. X's finding a kill with a nade, and the bomb does go down and is ticking away. So finding the double kill there, as none of them look straight down. TMB finds both, and lucky there, finally, AGF will be finding a round in their favor, and it will be the 6th on the board for them. Izako Boars, their money is reset, and so AGF a little bit of breathing room.
$1.13 to 5. The Soho odds right now looking pretty savage for the AGF side, has to be said. Of course, if you feel like you want to take them up on those odds, you can do so. That's CyberBet. Use the codes available in the description for some extra support, including deposit bonuses, among other things as well. All that available below in the Twitch panels. With that said and done, though, we're back into the action in round 19. And we're all eyes on deck to see will Izako Boars force us to 13.
Side to side. Unfortunately, not friends, as Avis will be finding a Christo. But again, these B takes have been very successful for AGF. It's such a hard site to retake. Oof, Toa playing with fire there, and well, the metaphor goes out the window once there's a molly replaced inside of window as well. And AGF should be finding this round. I don't know how Izako Boars get back into this unless they just wait for those pieces of utility to start disappearing.
Give me your hot take right now, Jaeger. Is this a 2-0, or AGF going to be able to call us back on the T side?
I believe it can be a 2-0 for Izako Boars. They need to, like, there's small adjustments they need to make over towards that B site. But once those adjustments are made, like, what can AGF even do at that point? It's just been so intricate from Izako Boars. Their timing, their aim, everything's been working out for them. They're looking like the better team today. And with how they've been playing so far on that first map and going into the second one, I feel like they deserve it as well.
Interesting time for a pause. I actually hope this is Izako Boars calling it, to be honest. Just take a second, just while AGF is starting to link these rounds together, just take a minute to kind of recuperate, look at your options, especially in this round where the weaponry is a little bit all over the place, and then think about the future. Right now, they still have a couple rounds to work with, a decent gap. As you say, they only need to fix an immediate hold towards B. Apart from that, their A setups have been pretty good.
There are 4 rounds to find. AGF managed to find 5 on their CT side. Izako Boars to find 1 more. Sorry, 1 less than them. In these last remaining rounds, Christo, great entry, but Avis is there for the refrag. And it's not a great buy from Izako in this round, so how did they get that kill with the Galil? Speaks volumes. I mean, this is technically a half buy from Izako Boars.
No long presence at all means they're going to have no idea what's coming. That's the only downside here for the Izako Boars side. I think Abba's contemplating whether he wants to go back, but no, completely giving it up. They were relying on some low tolerance presence that just simply never arrived.
They're getting conditioned by that B play always coming into play, and TMB finding Avis. And now the cogs should be spinning in their head. They realize, okay, this might actually be an A take, and that bomb's going to be going down, and we don't really have the weapons to fight back. Except for X's, who does have the AUG in hand. Still a viable CT side weapon. nice peek there from Lucky to find Shuey. And it's just looking a lot better here from AGF on this T side. They seem to be in a more comfortable position here. And XS and Toa, they're going to try and hold on to what they have here, which is not the bad call either. This wasn't a full gun round from Izako Boars. And it will be AGF finding their 8th on the board. So slowly making up that score difference.
Hoping we see a little bit more might from the Izako Boars side now, though. Now that we're on a full buy, that last round felt like it was a little soft. It was really relying on that lower tunnel's presence that, simply put, never arrived. Off the back of that, AGF played this very scripted and smart play towards long, where they were just waiting for rotations. You could see they sat long with the AWP, waited for that peak to come through short, just so he crossed, picked him off, took the site. It was very scripted and thought through. I'm hoping we see that slightly more counteracted from the Izako Boars side now, but that said, AGF, they're going long again. They're doing the exact same thing.
I'm starting to slowly get worried for Izako Boars' CT side here, because there's a general lack of defense towards both sides from each kind of long push. If they go through tunnels or they go through A long, they're all in positions to try and defend mid, and not really in the positions to defend against these pushes coming in. So Avis, he is their only line of defense as this push starts to make its way in. You do have Exis and short. That molly is going to give some idea of where his position is, and does delay the push for a moment, but those smokes are going to last much longer than the mollies, and that molly is going to force him back a little bit more as well. As the head is shown, Avis will find the kill, and so far so good. Good start. Avis slowly pushing his way forward. Head spotted. There's another one, but can't find another kill. Netric is there for the refrag, and now 4 versus 3. Next is still waiting for a head to appear, and Kristau is just that much faster, and that's a hard kill to find, even with the AUG. And just as he re-peaks, but Kristau misses his shot as well. But the retake into this A site, yet again, Izako Boars. Okay, Toa, he can just walk straight through CT to find that kill. And missing that shot, oh no, how have they done this?
Flashbang. It's a big flashbang is what it is. That one single flashbang in CT just gave it the perfect time. It was just about as he went to flick his mouse. You can see all of a sudden that flashbang catches him by surprise and his shot just goes up to the sky. That's whoever throws that flashbang just think single-handedly secured that round there, because that AWP would have been at least guaranteed for 1 kill, potentially more. It could have been a very different scenario.
Well, there you go. Well done to Sien for that flash there, winning them the round, and 13th on the board for Izako AGF. They're probably sitting there just wondering, just thinking, I cannot believe that flash has just completely dismantled us, that no one was watching CT when that push came in.
Couple of early trades already taking form. That long play shut down now. It's going to be short pressure instead that's applied. And Molly will slow things down. Ultimately, I'm a little concerned about seeing this peak here. This is very much one where he gets traded. No flash comes through either. Just he peeks. He just spot them though, so immediately drops the smoke there. It's creates quite an interesting dynamic here for him and his opposition on short. Just how long does he want to stick around for?
They have no presence over towards tunnels, neither of these teams do. And so it really is what seems to be, at this point, a push towards this A side, as Kristau will find Toa. I was looking to try and refrag, took a little bit of damage inside. Better to take a fight that he can win.
Ooh. That's not a fight you can win. Frostlev lines up a double kill as he just sprays through CT looking for elevator damage. Rewarded with a double kill. Definitely not going to be complaining about that one, that's for sure. That'll be a ninth round now as well. Nothing really that Machine can do here. Just going to have to sit tight with the AK. It'll be 13-9. This game becoming much closer as Izako Boars has to work for each and every round they find on their CT side.
Well, there you go. Another round on the board here for AGF. Izako Boars holding on to what they can. It will be the 1 AK in the hands of Shen, and everyone else, the money. That's not really enough to justify a buy. And so AGF, they're getting closer and closer. And as you said, Izako Boars, they're having to do everything they can to squeeze out these rounds. What did work for them was that retake over towards that A site. They managed to whittle down enough numbers that once they went for that retake, it was fairly just calculate it, get that flash out, do the damage. Avis has to be the main line of defense when that push comes in, because if he gets downed early, they just don't do enough damage early on. Shui as well has to get into the right positions. This is a force buy in this round. The 4 rifles and the 1 deagle in the hands of Toa. That flash comes out. Avis has to defend himself immediately. They're both looking down. Did get blocked by his teammate then, have to back away. So good utility use there by AGF to take control towards A short. That's great timing there for Xian. Gets lit down to 46 HP though. Flash comes out, the peek comes in, and Frostlev's going to find the kill.
That flash is on short, start to lead to some as well as the Orcs take the peaks, and ultimately it becomes the bloodbath here on shorts. AGF getting every single frag they need right now. Izako Boars just struggling here. Even with a quick frag on short, ultimately still, it's going to be a 1v3 for Toeo. Absolutely impossible.
Oh no, he lit down to 68 HP as well. I mean, the biggest misplay there is how they tackled that AWP, because they peeked him one by one, and give Cristal that much space, he's going to try and take what he can. And he finds so many kills, and lucky, maybe one of them heard the tick from the molly in mid, and so he'll be fine from high mid. But there it is, AGF up to the double digits. Izako, that amazing lead they managed to accrue in those first couple of rounds has dissipated. They're now 3 rounds away, and they have nothing they can buy in this round. So you're looking at a 2-round advantage for Izako Boars, as AGF are starting to run away with this. The question is, will they get those same series of rounds they could string together just like AGF did? Because those rounds, they were gifted by Izako Boars, and that could spell the difference here.
This is really starting to get to quite a worrying situation here, to be honest. For Izako Boars want to think about closing out this match 2-0. They need to get a move on. Of course, as you touched on, this is going to be a complete bloodbath. Nothing can be done here at all. Just quick and easy counter-strike. 13-11 will be the scoreline.
To think this was 1-9 at one point. This is now 11-13, and Izako Boars, that in itself can affect you greatly. Just thinking about how big an advantage you had, and the fact that you won both pistol rounds. Nade comes out, will be a miss, but the follow-up is even better from Cristal, as finally Avis able to shut down Cristal. Inside the smoke, Avis not expecting there to be another player, can't get away, and it's down to a 2 versus 4 immediately. AGF, they're set to make their way to their 12th round here. That tick of fire immediately warns Froster that someone was hiding on the other side of that smoke, and he pulls out his rifle mid-air. And, I mean, AGF, they're just, I mean, at this point, they can actually just abuse that A long as well. Which, I mean, Izako Boars, they just have very bad defenses for any of these long pushes. Like what we were seeing earlier on, that molly goes down into A house, stops them from pushing straight in. If they're smoking that as soon as you're doing it, then you can double nade that. And there's a lot of ways you can counter that initial push. As Shen finds Chris down in mid, and that could be something that brings them just that bit of motivation, because they definitely need it at this point, because they're now only one round in the advantage. If Izako Boars can steal this away, although after that shot, I still don't think it's too viable. As Huey looks like he's just DC'd for a second there. Never mind, he's just messing about. As Shen doing a little bit more damage with the scout, getting double peeked, and TMB will take him down. And he's done basically his job there. He's found a kill. They now have 2 under their belt for the side of AGF. And they just don't stop. TMB, great shot to Toa. He's been very sharp on these shots. Jumping down, Lucky catches him as he's falling. I mean, was it a necessary jump? I don't think so. Abyss will find one before he goes down, but AGF have tied up the score.
13-13. Izako Boars want that 2-0. It's going to come down to the next 3 rounds. They do not have many more opportunities to get the job done here, otherwise we are going to a third map. I wonder if they do just continue to abuse what we see on short and long as well. I mean, frankly, it's worked every time, isn't it? It really has. He's in an interesting position though. He'll get himself a kill for free. A little bit of presence in mid as well though. I don't know if they're going to spot that. Do they have anyone there actually holding the control right now? It looks like they are aware. They might actually send Avis through the smoke. This could be huge. No one's looking. Avis just gets a move on here. He could literally shut down this round, but no. Someone just spins around at the worst possible moment. They're going to drop like flies. They missed an AWP shot as well. Oh my lord, it's an absolute disaster. 2v2. Takes hold. Cristal in mid will find himself blind. Does get taken down, which means Netric becomes last man standing. Okay, that's a bit of an anticlimactic way to lose a 1v2, I have to say. Just gonna cut to the chase there. I mean, that's. Was hoping for something a little bit more intense than that. Just getting tagged down through the door. Not much more to it. Unfortunately, just didn't have the HP to survive the wallbang. Unfortunately for Izako Boars though, their opponents have like $16,000 in the bank. So, not exactly going to be broken sometime soon. They're going to have to do that all over again. And it does feel like the rounds that they are finding are bloody close. Now we're here, 13-14. The match is on. Izako Boars desperate to try and get the job done here, but struggling to be consistent in how they apply these rounds. AGF Looks like they're going to be testing the long push this time around. The Sui gets pushed back. First blood does go to the way of the CT side. This is second and third kills all come through. Is this Izako Boars about to force themselves a serious point? Is it going to happen? Just like this, TMB will bring things back into somewhat of a favourable spot. Takes down Avis on the side, so opens up a chance here. As the A site is actually taken, but that bomb trapped in such an awkward spot towards long. DMB now down to 18 HP. All he needs a little bit of support from his teammate. Maybe there's something here.
And right now in their position, they know they don't have to push because they've got the bomb. They just have to hold it. As they've decided to go over towards mid. Crystal finds Exis. There's Xian onto TMB. And now in a 1 versus 3, Crystal, what can you do? You might need to hold on to this AWP as well. I mean, they've got 9k and 8k across the board. Actually, they got a loss bonus. They'll be fine for a buy on the next round now that I think about it. So, really, Crystal, he can go for this. Missed shot in towards Pit. Great shot into Xian, though. And this is 2 versus 1. They should be playing off of each other here. They shouldn't be giving 1v1 fights or anything like that. He's ducked into the back of... Oh my goodness, let out 13 HP.
There's no need to give it to him. There's just no need. Just wait. Oh, they made that almost possible.
I know,
That's the thing there. Just let him push.
Dangerous times. That definitely could have gone so badly for them. But, well, they found it. They found match point.
Some would have said it was impossible. I probably would have, to be honest, after we got to 13-13. It seemed like they couldn't consistently close, but now 1 round is all they require. Interesting pause, though. Management call from AGF here just to try and think about what their tactic will be to try and bag themselves those 2 final rounds. No opportunity for mistake now. Izako Boars 1 more in the bag, and it will be a 2-0 in this best of 3 result. Surprise us all.
Tandem and A-Long, that was so good, but now I don't think Izako Boars will be expecting this kind of a push as they just barrel their way over towards that B site. Nate comes in, Avis has to do a lot of work here, and can he give himself enough space? That's the question. He's only good for the 1, and that's going to be the B site completely taken. The bomb's already there, the smokes have gone down, and this is the worst case scenario. At this point, they should be just trying to save these M4s because they're going to lose way too many on this retake. I don't see it happening. Look at the crossfire side of the site. All 4 players are in a position where they can trade for each other.
It should be possible. The B site is one of the hardest sites in the game to retake. This shouldn't be attainable. A great pick from Crystal only solidifies that as well. And you can see Izako, immediate call. Let's be sensible here, guys. Give ourselves the best shot possible. Back away and save. Keeping the 3 M4s, keeping the Kevlar on their shoulders, a big utility. This will ensure that they can still fight for 15-14.
AGF really making them work for this 2-0. Jumping! I can't believe it. That's a big loss as well. They needed all of that money because they need to bring those rifles into the next round so they can drop over the 2 teammates that went down. Shui going down there. He had no business running around out in the open. And that could spell overtime. Izako Boars, that's Shui.
It's a tough one now because their money is definitely wrecked. So they're going to have to think about what they want to do here. Do they want to get aggressive? How are they going to manage that? Definitely finding themselves in a tight spot here.
See, Exus drops over that M4. He has no more money left for utility. He goes down to a flash. Sui, he can pick that up, buy himself some armor and full utility. Avis can either buy himself a FAMAS. Actually, you see the FAMAS being bought and dropped over. Avis will be the one picking up the M4. Exus has an M4 already to work with. And Shen can buy up utility. So it's not a bad buy. It's only the FAMAS that's really at that disadvantage. No head armor for 2 of the players. Not really something you worry about when you're going up against the T side. What I am worried about for the T side is that double AWP setup comes out, triple AWP setup comes out, so they just want to do as much damage as possible over towards mid before this round gets started. They switch back over towards those rifles. But this, as a start, no damage done, and the AK picked back up. Smoke down, they're afraid of that fast push in towards the B side. They have a crossfire inside of B. Crossfire over towards A. They push all the way down A, no one was there, and so they back up towards the site. This is good from them, but mid control is completely AGF's if they decide to take it.
That's pretty standard to us too, though. You tend to give up that mid control early on. This is kind of the pretty much normal T default right now. A little bit lower tunnels control, mid control comes up, and then you look for short control as well and start to evaluate your options, whether that's going to be heading through A long or whatnot. Looks like we may actually see our first duel actually be towards A long as well, potentially here. A pretty critical duel too.
Sui is hiding on the site with the FAMAS. Avis has an MP9 to work with. I thought he was going to have an M4, and giving MP9 to one of the players that's just been an absolute amazing anchor and has been doing all the damage. And so utility raining down the site, and Sui's in a bad position. He's basically got no cover if they decide to go for this, and you see them waiting for this peek to come in. They know he's there. Peek down, not spotting anyone. There's the head, Lucky finds it. At that, it's retaken.
I don't see any way that they're going to be able to retake this.
Neither do I, and this timing, not in favor of Toa. Frostlev, he's just going to be hiding from in A long. Nexus will find one. Shen trying to spray, and it won't. This is just not going to work. This is a 1 versus 4 now, and Shen can't find anything else. It will be overtime. Izako Boars starting on that CT side means that they could definitely get 18-15 here, which is just the unluck of the draw there. It's just what happens when you lose that knife round. And AGF bringing it into overtime from what was once a 9-1 score, a 15-13 score. They should be feeling confident going into this overtime. They've brought it this far. This is their map pick. They definitely want to bring it over towards Nuke, where they definitely have that advantage.
This is going to be an interesting OT. It really is, because I think there's a lot left to be desired for Izako Boars right now, but if they can bring that perfect T side, get 3 rounds on their T side, they only need 1 CT round. That feels a lot more attainable. Not the greatest start here for the Izako Boars side. Crystal just slamming them down through mid. They're really making good use of the AWP. Looks like that lack of wall presence towards short is also going to bite them here, but X just looks back at the best possible moment. That timing is perfection. As a result of that timing, will at least get themselves the trade kills, brings things back to somewhat of an even kill.
Just legged through the smoke. Oh my goodness. TMB just walks straight on through. Smoke goes down. That's B's completely left by itself. Toa finding the kill through the smoke, but goes down to the molly. It's a 2 versus 2.
This is doable though. B site retakes 2v2s are not impossible. They just require a bit of coordination.
And they have the utility
And
to do it.
preferably, you want 2 players on the site as well, not the tunnels. You ideally want to be able to get yourself in through central site. Let's see though, how they use this utility. I love that molly. The team molly there just means that Nexus gets a kill effectively for free. Will lose his life though, leaving all the frost there, but Nexus just pulls out ahead. That's a huge round because Izako and Izako Boars retain their lead.
He used his smoke as a fake flash, I think. You saw him turn away for a split second there, and he gets into a position. Exis, I mean, my goodness, that was such a good play coming in. The molly goes in, that smoke that comes out afterwards, and then he throws it down. The gunfight, and so 16 to 15. Izako Boars, that's a much needed CT side round. Oh, Netric, also sniper in play. And a bit of damage onto Shui. Not the start you want.
Nice early pick though, once again. It's the same story as the previous round. This time it's TMB, not Crystal, but the point still very much the same. AGF always seem to consistently get this opening frag now.
Oh my goodness. This is not going to work out as planned. Oh my gosh, the missed shot and nearly the double spray down.
It's a bloodbath towards me off the back of that as well. That's so unfortunate. Could have been so much more value in that round if he just not missed the shot as well. And I have to say, it's quite an easy shot to land. There's nothing complex about that. So pretty unfortunate. I don't think this is going to be quite as cut and dry as the previous retake we saw now. That extra member tunnels just adds a lot of complexity into the round here for Avis.
Okay, so that makes it technically doable.
So far so good, but still, so much more he has to do here and worry about. But he's
What?
just a lean, mean fighting machine. The frag rating finishes off fourth level as well. It's going to be yet another round. Izako Boars have been a team who could not close on their CT side. Let's be frank here. They got to 13 rounds. They could not close. They've won both rounds at OT so far. Their T side was absolutely straight fire.
Where was it? Where was
Surely
this?
at this point they're positioned to actually take the match.
Where was this? I don't understand. Like they start to go for these retakes now and towards that B site, and it's working every single time. And it's always one utility kill and then one rifle kill on the way into the site. 17, that's 2 on their CT side. It's the first time we've seen them string together 2 rounds on their CT side. And it happens in overtime. AGF, not a good start on this round, this half and side that's been so dominant for them. This time, no aggressive long control.
This has been absolutely beautiful, isn't it?
Especially from the Izako Boars. Just a pleasure to watch as Avis finds TMB. There will be an exchange. Christo finding X's. That's one of their AWPs down. Oh my goodness. There was no need to go for that. Fair enough to Christo though. He was blind. Still gets the kill. Avis, just bad timing.
He's stuck in a rock and a hard place. No way he can look though. He can't look short because he's getting pushed from long. Can't look long because he's getting pushed from short. It's just a lose-lose.
Nice try, Toa. That'll be a 16-17 half, and still, it's looking good for Izako Boars, as they'll be going over towards their T side now, the side that they've been very, very good on. And so they could definitely close this out, as you said. AGF, will we see them pull off an Izako Boars here? That's the question. I was on 30 kills.
I wonder because Izako Boars' T side was honestly just straight fire in the first half. Yes, they made a few fumbles towards the final pieces of it, but overall, it was incredible.
So good to see that the byline is actually 16k and not that 10k money line, because you do get 3 rifle rounds, which is always nice to see. This time no damage done through mid, which Izako Boars were nailing, to be fair. Flash comes out, smoke goes down, Netric will use that to create some space for himself, and Alon control for now will be AGF's. Flash goes down, smoke goes out, they don't push. That single flash has expended the use of the smoke and the nade. Toa's down to 12 HP.
Except they will be looking for mid to be here, so aggressive position from CT may actually prove to be quite interesting here. TMB kind of revealing his play though. He may have just changed things, pushing up towards short. Now they won't want to fight that up. A little bit of damage done across both sides, but still yet to see a frag come through. You want to look at the B play though as they wrap in for a mid. So far so good. It's all about Izako Boars. It's 3 for 1 in the end. Leaves a 4v2 on the table here. The CT's jewels coming through. It looks pretty wishy-washy. Not going to happen. Netric becomes final man standing. If you can't get it done, 18-16. And Izako Boars, they got themselves the series point again.
AGF, they don't slink back. They pick up the double AWPs yet again, and I mean, it's taken them a while, but Izako Boars this time, I mean, we've seen this before, right? It's 2 rounds in the lead for Izako Boars at match point, but what we haven't seen is AGF doing it on their CT side to bring it back. So this is a tough ask. As the molly goes out, this time can't hold it. Exus has to back away as TMB has just found Shui, but there's Toa. Bring back. Oh my goodness, Crystal, he misses. He shoots just above his head as Frostlove. Oh no, does he whiff this? He does, and that should be it. I can't believe he didn't get that kill there. Avis finding an instant headshot onto Frostlove as X is brought down to 4 HP. Netric is pushed down into A house, and Exus can get that information. He's sat in mid as footsteps being heard. He backs away around the corner, but that bomb is going to go down. Crystal's made his way in from CT. Nade does a tiny bit of damage, not too much to write home about. As a head, what a great flick from Crystal. The retake into A, it's not an easy task. As Shen spots a player, there's the one, there's the follow-up, that should be it. Lucky, what can you bring to the table? He's found the first. He has to find 2 more. It's a 2 versus 1, and do they whiff this away? No, they don't. That's going to be it. Izako Boars, the underdogs going into this game. They win it out 2-0 over AGF. Anyone that's been looking at them and thinking, oh, you know what? The odds are against them, but I'll support you. Well, you've been heavily rewarded, and that's going to be it for game number 1. We'll be back for series number 2. That's going to be X Mustang Crew versus Na'Vi Juniors. Stick around.